This is a continuation in a video series on the Ralph steam engine. In this video, we are fabricating the boiler for the steam engine. Construction notes describing the part and the machining operations can be found at the Eclectic Builds website, listed in the description. Unlike the construction of the original poly boiler, we are using copper tubing to avoid rolling a tube from sheet copper and having to braze a seam. This makes it much easier to produce a steam-tight boiler. To fabricate the end caps for the boiler, we need to build a tool called a former to help shape the copper. The dimensions of the former are based on the inside diameter of the tube and the thickness of the copper sheet. In our case, this will yield a radius of 7/8 of an inch for the former. This is the former tool we will use to fabricate the end plates for the boiler. Start by marking out the copper sheet for the end caps. Prick punch the marked hole positions and then center punch to guide the drill bit. The rough edges of the end plates are cleaned up a little, mostly to keep my fingers safe. Before the copper is shaped on the former, it is softened by annealing, or heating it to red hot. The plate is sandwiched in the former and the edges are progressively hammered into shape. Hammering the copper causes it to harden, so it is difficult to work. It needs to be reheated to anneal and soften it again. This is a case of wash, rinse and repeat until the end cap folds are smooth and the sides are square. A little cleanup on the belt sander squares up the edges of the end plates. Using the original former tool makes the work holding easy. The center holes in the plates are enlarged using a step drill. If this had been done earlier, the hole would have been stretched out of round as the end plates were formed. The chimney for the firebox will run through the center of the boiler, forming a fire tube that will increase the efficiency of the boiler. A bushing for the safety valve needs to be machined before the boiler is brazed. The end of a copper rod is faced, and then the diameter of the bushing is turned to size. A hole is drilled and tapped, so a threaded safety valve can be screwed into the boiler. The safety valve will be machined in a future video. To finish, the valve bushing is parted off and the top side is faced. This is the setup to braze or silver solder the boiler joints. Flux is brushed on the parts where the silver solder needs to flow between the joints. The boiler is slowly heated to bring it up to temperature until the flux boils off and the silver solder flows. A hand pump is attached to the safety valve bushing and the boiler is pressurized to look for any air leaking from any of the seams. Fortunately, the joints were all airtight. A final pressure test was later performed to verify that the boiler could safely hold twice its operating pressure. After brazing the boiler, it is soaked in a solution of weak acid to neutralize any remaining flux and allow cleanup of the copper exterior. Please like this video to increase the number of people who will get to see it. And if you'd like to see the Ralph steam engine come to life in further videos, hit the subscribe button.